Hi everyone, welcome back to Emma's Talk.
Hello, hello, it's me, Harry again.
Harry, quick question. Have you ever felt nervous at an airport in a foreign country because you didn't understand the announcements?
Oh yes, once in a different country, I heard my flight number, but I didn't understand the rest of the announcement at all.
That's a scary feeling, isn't it? Not knowing if you're going to the right gate?
Very scary. My heart was beating so fast.
Well, today, we're going to fix that problem for our listeners.
Yes, today's topic is travel and airport vocabulary.
Everything you need from checking in to boarding your flight to picking up your bags at the end.
Real words, real phrases, real situations. Things you will actually hear and use at an airport.
So if you're planning a trip soon or you just want to feel more confident traveling, this episode is for you.
Let's turn the airport from a scary place into a place where you feel calm and prepared.
I love that. Let's get started.
Let's go.
Okay, Harry, let's start even before the airport. What words do we need when we're planning a trip?
Great idea. First word, book a flight. This means to buy or reserve your plane ticket.
For example, I booked a flight to London for next month.
Exactly. Next word, one-way ticket and round-trip ticket.
Can you explain the difference?
Sure. A one-way ticket means you travel only in one direction. You don't come back on the same ticket.
And a round-trip ticket?
A round-trip ticket includes your trip there and also your trip back home.
Good to know. What about layover, Harry? I hear this word a lot.
Ah, a very important word. A layover means a stop between two flights before reaching your final destination.
So if I fly from Casablanca to New York, but I stop in Paris first, that stop is a layover.
Exactly. And if that layover is very short, we might say, I have a tight connection.
Tight connection, meaning not much time between flights?
Exactly. Not much time to change planes.
Let's repeat these words. Book a flight, one way, round trip, layover, tight connection.
Book a flight, one way, round trip, layover, tight connection.
Now, what about packing? What words do we need for our suitcase?
Good question. First, suitcase or luggage. These both mean your bag for traveling.
And what's the difference between luggage and baggage? They sound similar.
Actually, they mean almost the same thing. Both refer to your bags for traveling.
Oh, that's helpful. Less to remember.
Exactly. Next word, carry-on. This is a smaller bag you bring onto the plane with you.
So it stays with you instead of going into the plane storage area?
Right. And the bigger bag that gets loaded under the plane, we call checked baggage or a checked bag.
Checked baggage, meaning it's checked in and then loaded separately.
Exactly. Let's repeat. Suitcase, luggage, carry-on, checked baggage.
Suitcase, luggage, carry-on, checked baggage.
This gives us a solid foundation before we even walk into the airport. Now, let's actually go there and start with the very first step, check-in.
Okay, Harry, imagine we just arrived at the airport. What's the first thing we do?
The first thing is usually check-in. This means telling the airline you have arrived and are ready to fly.
And where do we do this?
At the check-in counter, or sometimes using a check-in kiosk, which is a machine.
Oh, I've used those machines before. You put in your details and it prints your ticket.
Exactly. And that printed ticket, that's called a boarding pass.
Boarding pass. This is such an important word. We need this to get on the plane.
Absolutely essential. Let's repeat. Check-in, check-in counter, kiosk, boarding pass.
Check-in counter, kiosk, boarding pass.
Now, what happens with our big suitcase at check-in?
This is when we do baggage drop, right? We give our suitcase to the airline.
Exactly. And they usually weigh your bag too, to check it's not too heavy.
What happens if the bag is too heavy?
Then you might need to pay an excess baggage fee, which means extra money for extra weight.
Oh no, that's happened to me before. I had to remove a few things from my suitcase right there at the counter.
A very common travel experience. Many travelers have this story.
Embarrassing, but funny now looking back.
Exactly. Let's repeat. Baggage drop, excess baggage fee.
Baggage drop, excess baggage fee.
Let's practice a short conversation now at the check-in counter. I'll be the airline worker, you be the passenger.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good morning. Can I see your passport and booking confirmation, please?
Good morning. Yes, here you go.
Thank you. Are you checking any bags today?
Yes, just this one suitcase.
Okay, please place it on the scale. Perfect. That's within the weight limit. Here is your boarding pass. Your gate is B12 and boarding starts at 3:30.
Thank you so much.
Great practice, Emma. Notice how simple and clear that conversation was.
Exactly. Short sentences, polite words, very easy to follow.
This is exactly the kind of conversation you'll have at almost any airport in the world.
Now that we have our boarding pass and our bag is checked, where do we go next?
Next, we go through security. let's talk about that important part of the journey.
Okay, Harry, security can feel a little stressful for new travelers. Let's make it simple.
Great idea. First word, security checkpoint. This is the area where they check your bags and your body for safety.
What do we usually need to do there?
First, you put your bags on the conveyor belt. This is the moving belt that carries your bag through the scanner.
Conveyor belt. Good word. And the machine that checks the bags?
That's called an X-ray machine. It lets security see inside your bag without opening it.
What about walking through security ourselves? What's that called?
You usually walk through a metal detector, a machine that checks if you're carrying any metal objects.
What if the metal detector makes a sound? What happens then?
Don't worry, this happens often. It might be your belt, your watch, or coins in your pocket.
So it's not always something serious.
Not at all. The security worker might do a quick extra check called a pat-down, just to confirm everything's fine.
Good to know. So travelers don't panic if this happens.
Exactly. Let's repeat these words. Security checkpoint, conveyor belt, X-ray machine, metal detector, pat-down.
Security checkpoint, conveyor belt, X-ray machine, metal detector, pat-down.
What about liquids, Harry? I know there are special rules for this.
Yes, this trips up a lot of travelers. Airports usually have rules about liquids, like water, shampoo, or perfume.
What's the rule usually?
Often, liquids in your carry-on need to be in small containers, usually under 100 milliliters, and placed in a clear plastic bag.
Ah, that's why they always ask, do you have any liquids?
Exactly. So a useful phrase to remember is, I have liquids in my bag, or I don't have any liquids.
Very useful phrases. Let's repeat. I have liquids in my bag. I don't have any liquids.
I have liquids in my bag. I don't have any liquids.
What about laptops and electronics? Do we need to do anything special with those?
Often, yes. Many airports ask you to take your laptop out of your bag and put it separately on the belt.
Good tip. Let's do a quick role play here too. I'll be security, you be the traveler.
Okay, let's do it.
Please remove your laptop and place your liquids in a separate tray.
Sure, one moment. Here you go.
Thank you. Please walk through when you're ready.
Okay. Did I set off the alarm?
No, you're all clear. Please collect your belongings on the other side.
Thank you.
Perfect practice. Very calm, very simple. Exactly how it usually happens in real life.
This really helps take away the fear of security, I think.
I agree completely. Once you understand the words and the steps, it feels much less scary. Now, after security, where do we usually find ourselves?
After security, we usually arrive in the departure area, right?
Exactly. This is the area with shops, restaurants, and seating where you wait for your flight.
What word do we use for the screens that show flight information?
Those are called departure boards. They show flight numbers, gates, and times.
Departure boards, very important to check regularly.
Absolutely, because gates can sometimes change.
Oh, this happened to me once. My gate changed and I almost missed the announcement.
This is exactly why we keep repeating. Check the departure board often.
What's the word for this specific area where we wait right before boarding?
That's called the gate, or boarding gate. Each flight has its own numbered gate.
Gate, such a simple but important word.
Extremely important. Let's repeat. Departure area, departure board, gate, boarding gate.
Departure area, departure board, gate, boarding gate.
What if there's a problem with our flight, Harry? What words do we need then?
Good question. If a flight is late, we say it's delayed.
And if the flight doesn't happen at all?
Then it's canceled. Both words are important, but of course, we hope to never hear them.
Exactly. But it's still smart to know these words, just in case.
True. Being prepared makes travel less stressful, even when problems happen.
Being prepared makes travel less stressful. Let's repeat that.
Being prepared makes travel less stressful.
What phrase might we hear if our flight is delayed?
Something like, we apologize for the delay. Your new departure time is 4:45.
Good example. And if we need more information, what could we ask?
We could say, excuse me, could you tell me why the flight is delayed? Or, is there a new gate for this flight?
Very useful, polite questions. Let's repeat them. Could you tell me why the flight is delayed? Is there a new gate for this flight?
Could you tell me why the flight is delayed? Is there a new gate for this flight?
Great. Now let's imagine our flight is finally ready and it's time to board the plane.
Okay, Harry, this is such an exciting moment, boarding the plane.
It really is. Let's learn the words for this part. First, boarding itself means getting onto the plane.
And I know sometimes there are different boarding groups, right?
Yes, exactly. Airlines often board passengers in groups to keep things organized.
Like families with children or priority boarding first?
Exactly. Priority boarding is usually for first class or passengers who need extra help.
What word do we use for the tunnel that connects the gate to the plane?
That's called the jet bridge, or sometimes just the bridge.
Jet bridge. I never knew the exact word for that before.
Many people don't. It's a small but useful word to know.
What happens once we're on the plane?
A flight attendant usually checks your boarding pass again and helps you find your seat.
Flight attendant. This is the person who helps us during the flight, right?
Exactly. They help with safety, food, drinks, and any questions during the flight.
Let's repeat these words. Boarding, boarding group, priority boarding, jet bridge, flight attendant.
Boarding, boarding group, priority boarding, jet bridge, flight attendant.
What about our seat, Harry? What words help us find it?
You'll usually see a seat number and letter like 14C on your boarding pass.
And words like window seat, aisle seat, and middle seat?
Exactly. A window seat is next to the window, an aisle seat is next to the walking path, and the middle seat is between them.
The middle seat is nobody's favorite, right?
Exactly. Most people prefer a window seat or an aisle seat.
What's the word for the space above our seat where we put our carry-on bag?
That's called the overhead bin or overhead compartment.
Overhead bin. Good to know. Let's repeat. Window seat, aisle seat, middle seat, overhead bin.
Window seat, aisle seat, middle seat, overhead bin.
Let's do one more quick role play here. Boarding the plane and finding our seat.
Great idea. I'll be the flight attendant.
Excuse me, could you help me find my seat? It's 14C.
Of course. Just down this aisle on your right. It's the aisle seat right there.
Thank you so much. Could I put my bag in the overhead bin?
Of course. Let me help you with that.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Perfect practice again. Simple, polite, and exactly what real travelers say every day.
This makes boarding feel so much less confusing. Now, once we're comfortable in our seats, what comes next?
Great question. Once we're seated, the flight attendants usually do a safety demonstration.
Oh, this is when they show us the safety instructions, right? Seatbelts, oxygen masks, exits?
Exactly. And we usually hear the words, "Please fasten your seatbelt" at the beginning of the flight.
Fasten your seatbelt. Such an important phrase to recognize.
Definitely. What about during the flight, Harry? What phrases might we hear or need to say?
We might hear, "Would you like something to drink?" from the flight attendant.
And how would we answer that politely?
We could say, "Yes, please. Could I have some water?" Or, "No, thank you. I'm fine."
Simple, polite answers. Let's repeat. Would you like something to drink? Could I have some water?
Would you like something to drink? Could I have some water?
What if we need something during the flight, like a blanket or headphones?
We could say, "Excuse me, could I get a blanket, please?" Or, "Do you have any spare headphones?"
Very useful. And what about turbulence, Harry? Do you know this word?
Yes, turbulence means when the plane shakes a little, usually because of the weather.
Exactly. And often, the pilot will say, "We're experiencing some turbulence. Please remain seated."
This can feel a little scary for new travelers, but it's actually very normal and safe.
Very true. And knowing the word helps reduce the fear because you understand what's happening.
Understanding reduces fear. Let's repeat that important idea.
Understanding reduces fear.
What about the bathroom on the plane, Harry? What's that called?
It's usually called the lavatory, a slightly more formal word than bathroom, used specifically on planes.
Lavatory. Good to know. And how would we ask where it is?
You could simply ask, "Excuse me, where is the lavatory?"
Simple and clear. Let's repeat. Lavatory. Excuse me, where is the lavatory?
Lavatory. Excuse me, where is the lavatory?
This has been such a useful section. All the little phrases we actually need during a real flight. Now, let's imagine we've landed and talk about what happens next. By the way, if you are learning something new today, please give this video a like.
Yes, and subscribe too. It really helps our channel grow.
And it helps you too, because you get more useful English lessons like this every week.
Perfect for travelers and English learners, all in one place.
Exactly. Okay, let's continue our journey now that we've landed.
Okay, Emma, the plane has landed. What words do we need now?
First, landing, of course, means the plane arriving safely on the ground.
And once we land, what do we usually hear from the pilot or crew?
Something like, "Welcome to your destination. Local time is 6 p.m. and the temperature is 20 degrees.
A very common announcement all around the world.
What about leaving the plane, Harry? What's that called?
We usually say disembark, or more simply, get off the plane.
Disembark, a slightly formal word, but useful to recognize.
Exactly. You might hear an announcement like, "Please remain seated until the seatbelt sign is turned off."
Such an important phrase, telling us when it's safe to stand up.
Right. Let's repeat. Landing, disembark, remain seated, seatbelt sign.
Landing, disembark, remain seated, seatbelt sign.
Once we leave the plane and the jet bridge, where do international travelers usually go next?
This is where we go through immigration or passport control. Let's talk about this important step.
Great. This part can feel a little formal, but it's really quite simple once you know the words.
Exactly. First, immigration is the process of officially entering a country.
And the place where this happens is often called passport control or immigration control.
What do we usually need to show there?
Your passport, of course, and sometimes a visa, depending on your nationality and destination.
Visa, an important word. This is like special permission to enter a country.
Exactly. Some countries also ask for an entry form or arrival card, a small document with your travel details.
Let's repeat these words. Immigration, passport control, visa, entry form.
Immigration, passport control, visa, entry form.
What kind of questions might an immigration officer ask us?
Common questions include what is the purpose of your visit and how long will you be staying?
How should we answer these? Simply and clearly?
For the first one, you could say, I'm here for tourism, or I'm visiting family, or I'm here for business.
And for the second question?
You could say, I'll be staying for 1 week, or I'll be staying for 2 months.
Simple, direct answers. Let's repeat. What is the purpose of your visit? I'm here for tourism.
What is the purpose of your visit? I'm here for tourism.
Let's do a quick role play here too. I'll be the immigration officer.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good afternoon. Passport, please. What is the purpose of your visit?
Good afternoon. Here you go. I'm here for tourism.
And how long will you be staying?
I'll be staying for 10 days.
Where will you be staying during your trip?
At a hotel in the city center.
Thank you. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you very much.
Perfect practice, Harry. So calm and simple, exactly how it happens in real life.
It really is. Once you know these phrases, immigration feels so much less intimidating.
Absolutely. Now, after immigration, where do we go to get our suitcase back?
Great question. This area is called baggage claim, or sometimes baggage reclaim.
This is where we wait for our checked bags, right?
Exactly. You usually look for a screen showing your flight number and a carousel number.
Carousel. This is the moving belt where the bags come out?
Exactly. A big circular moving belt carrying everyone's luggage.
I always feel nervous, waiting to see if my bag actually arrives.
Everyone feels this a little bit. It's a very common travel feeling.
What happens if our bag doesn't arrive, Harry? This is every traveler's fear.
This is called lost luggage, and in this situation, you'd go to the airline's baggage service or lost and found desk.
Lost luggage, baggage service. Important words, even though we hope to never use them.
Exactly, but it's smart to know them, just in case. Let's repeat. Baggage claim, carousel, lost luggage, baggage service.
Baggage claim, carousel, lost luggage, baggage service.
What phrase would we use to report a lost bag?
We could say, "Excuse me, my bag hasn't arrived. Could you help me?" Or, "My luggage is missing."
Very clear. Useful phrases for a stressful situation.
Definitely worth remembering, even if we hope to never need them.
Let's also imagine our bag arrives safely, which is the much more common situation, thankfully.
Yes, let's stay positive. Once we have our bag, where do we go next?
The final step usually is customs. Let's talk about this important area too.
What exactly is customs, Harry, for our listeners who don't know?
Customs is where officials check if you're bringing anything that isn't allowed into the country or that needs to be declared.
Declared meaning we tell them about it, right?
Exactly. Many airports have 2 paths through customs: nothing to declare and goods to declare.
What kind of things might we need to declare?
Things like large amounts of money, certain foods, alcohol, or expensive items you bought abroad.
So if we're not carrying anything special, we simply walk through nothing to declare.
Exactly. This is the path most travelers use on a normal trip.
Let's repeat these words. Customs, declare, nothing to declare, goods to declare.
Customs, declare, nothing to declare, goods to declare.
What if a customs officer stops us and asks a question?
They might ask, "Do you have anything to declare?" And you would simply answer honestly, "No, nothing," or explain what you're carrying.
Honest, simple answers, just like immigration.
Exactly. And once we pass through customs, guess what?
We've officially arrived.
Exactly. We can finally step outside into our destination.
This whole journey, from booking a flight to walking out of the airport, now makes so much more sense with the right vocabulary.
It really does. Now, let's take a moment to talk about something every traveler eventually faces: problems and how to handle them with the right words.
Great idea, Harry. Travel doesn't always go perfectly, does it?
Definitely not. Let's prepare our listeners for common problems and the right words to use.
Problem 1, a missed flight. What do we say or do in this situation?
You could go to the airline counter and say, "Excuse me, I missed my flight. Could you help me find another one?"
Staying calm and polite even in a stressful moment.
Exactly. Staying calm really helps, both for you and for the person helping you.
Staying calm helps everyone. Let's repeat that.
Staying calm helps everyone.
Problem 2, a delayed or canceled flight. We touched on this earlier, but what should we actually do?
Usually, go to the airline's customer service desk and ask, what are my options? Or can I get a refund or a new flight?
Good phrases to remember. Problem 3, lost luggage, which we also mentioned.
Right. Going to baggage service and clearly explaining, my bag didn't arrive, with your baggage claim ticket ready.
Always keep that little ticket safe.
Definitely. It's small, but very important.
Problem 4, needing help finding your gate or understanding an announcement.
A simple useful phrase here is, excuse me, could you help me? I'm looking for gate B12. Or, could you repeat that announcement, please?
Simple, polite, clear. Always works well.
Exactly. Let's repeat some of these useful problem-solving phrases. Could you help me find another flight? What are my options? Could you repeat that, please?
Could you help me find another flight? What are my options? Could you repeat that, please?
These phrases really give travelers confidence, even when things don't go perfectly.
I completely agree. Traveling with the right words feels so much less scary.
Traveling with the right words feels less scary. Let's repeat that important idea.
Traveling with the right words feels less scary.
Now, let's talk about a few more useful words for other travel situations, like taking a taxi or exchanging money once we leave the airport.
Great idea, Harry. Once we leave the airport, what words do we need?
First, if we need a taxi, we might see a sign for the taxi rank or taxi stand.
Taxi rank. This is where taxis line up, waiting for passengers?
Exactly. Or you might use a phrase like, where can I find a taxi?
What about public transportation, like buses or trains from the airport?
Many airports have an airport shuttle, a bus that takes you to the city center or nearby hotels.
Airport shuttle. Very useful and often cheaper than a taxi.
Definitely. What about money, Harry? Do we need special words for that too?
Yes, especially if we need to exchange currency. We might look for a currency exchange or a money exchange.
And a useful phrase there could be, could I exchange dollars for euros, please?
Simple and direct. Let's repeat these words. Taxi rank, airport shuttle, currency exchange.
Taxi rank, airport shuttle, currency exchange.
What about an ATM, Harry? Are these usually available in airports?
Almost always, yes. You could ask, excuse me, where is the nearest ATM?
Such a practical, useful phrase.
Definitely. And once we're outside the airport with our transportation figured out, our journey has truly begun.
This really completes the whole picture, from booking the flight all the way to arriving at our final destination.
It really does. Now, let's put together a big, complete list of all the key vocabulary we've learned today to help everyone review.
Harry, before we talk about leaving the airport, I want to go back to something fun. Shops and food inside the airport.
Oh, great idea. Airports actually have a lot of useful vocabulary here too.
Let's start with shops. What do we call shops that sell things without extra tax inside the airport?
This is called duty-free. You'll often see signs saying duty-free shopping.
Duty-free, meaning cheaper because there's no extra tax added.
Exactly right. Many travelers buy perfume, chocolate, or alcohol from duty-free shops.
I love browsing those shops, even if I don't always buy something.
Me too. It's a fun part of waiting for a flight.
What about food, Harry? What words do we need there?
Simple ones mostly. Food court for an area with several different restaurants together.
Food court, very common in bigger airports.
Exactly. And a useful phrase if you're looking for something to eat is there a food court nearby? Or where can I get a quick meal?
Very practical phrases, especially during a long layover.
Definitely. Let's repeat these words. Duty-free, food court.
Duty-free, food court.
What about airport lounges, Emma? Have you ever used one?
Yes, once. A lounge is a quieter, more comfortable area, usually for business class passengers or people with special access.
Exactly. Lounges often have free food, drinks, and comfortable seating, away from the busy crowds.
It felt so relaxing, honestly, compared to the noisy main area.
I can imagine. What phrase might we use asking about lounge access?
We could ask, do I have access to the lounge with this ticket? Or where is the business lounge located?
Useful questions for travelers who might have this option.
Let's repeat. Airport lounge, lounge access.
Airport lounge, lounge access.
This part of the airport experience is honestly one of my favorites. The shops and the food make waiting feel a little more enjoyable.
I completely agree. It turns waiting into a small part of the adventure itself.
Now, let's talk about something that happens to almost every traveler eventually, connecting flights and long layovers.
Okay, Harry, we mentioned layover earlier, but let's go a little deeper here since this can be confusing for new travelers.
Great idea. First, what's the difference between a short layover and a long layover?
I think a short layover is usually under 2 or 3 hours, while a long layover could be many hours or even overnight.
Exactly. And the word for the flight you take after your layover is your connecting flight.
Connecting flight. This continues your journey to the final destination.
Right. And an important phrase here is, where do I go for my connecting flight?
Very useful, especially in a big, confusing airport.
Definitely. Sometimes you might also hear the phrase self-transfer or transit passenger.
Transit passenger, meaning someone just passing through, not entering the country fully.
Exactly. In this case, you might go through a transit area instead of full immigration.
Let's repeat these words. Connecting flight, transit passenger, transit area.
Connecting flight, transit passenger, transit area.
What if we have a really long layover, Harry? What can travelers do with all that time?
Great question. Some travelers choose a quick layover tour, if the airport offers this, actually leaving the airport for a few hours to see the city.
Oh, I've heard of this. Some cities like Istanbul or Singapore offer amazing layover tours.
Exactly. Others might simply rest in an airport hotel called a transit hotel, located right inside the airport.
Transit hotel. So convenient. No need to go through security twice.
Very convenient, especially for tired travelers after a long flight.
What about sleeping in the airport itself without a hotel? I've seen people do this.
Yes, this happens often too. Some travelers just find a comfortable chair, or even sleeping pods, if the airport has them.
Sleeping pods. What a modern, interesting word.
Exactly. Small private spaces designed just for resting between flights.
Let's repeat. Layover tour, transit hotel, sleeping pods.
Layover tour, transit hotel, sleeping pods.
This really shows how much planning and vocabulary goes into managing a long journey with layovers.
It really does. Now, let's talk about a very human part of travel. Small talk and being polite with fellow passengers and airport staff.
Harry, I think this part is so important because travel isn't just about vocabulary, it's about being kind and polite to the people around us.
I completely agree. Let's start with simple small talk with someone sitting next to us on the plane.
We could say something simple like, "Hi, is this your first time visiting this country?" Or, "Are you traveling for business or pleasure?"
Very natural, friendly questions. And if we're not in the mood to talk, what could we politely say?
We could simply say, "It's nice to meet you, but I think I'll rest for now," with a warm smile.
Perfect. Polite but honest. Both are completely okay, depending on how we feel.
What about asking someone to switch seats, Harry? This happens sometimes, especially for families wanting to sit together.
A polite way to ask could be, "Excuse me, would you mind switching seats with me? I'd love to sit next to my family."
Such a kind, clear way to ask for a favor.
Exactly. And if someone asks us the same thing, we could say, "Of course, no problem at all." Or politely explain if we can't.
Let's repeat these useful phrases. Would you mind switching seats with me? Of course, no problem at all.
Would you mind switching seats with me? Of course, no problem at all.
What about thanking airport staff and flight attendants? This seems small, but it really matters.
Absolutely. Simple phrases like, "Thank you so much for your help," or "I really appreciate it," go a long way.
These small kindnesses really make travel feel warmer for everyone involved.
They really do. Kindness makes any journey smoother.
Kindness makes any journey smoother. Let's repeat that lovely idea.
Kindness makes any journey smoother.
This really reminds us that language isn't only about words. It's about connecting with people wherever we travel in the world.
Beautifully said, Emma. Now, let's move toward our full review, questions, and key phrases to bring this wonderful episode together.
Great idea, Harry. Let's go through everything step by step, like a real journey.
Perfect. Starting with booking. Book a flight, one-way ticket, round-trip ticket, layover.
Then packing. Suitcase, luggage, carry-on, checked baggage.
At the airport, check-in, check-in counter, kiosk, boarding pass, baggage drop.
At security checkpoint, conveyor belt, x-ray machine, metal detector.
In the departure area, departure board, gate, delayed, canceled.
Boarding the plane, boarding group, jet bridge, flight attendant, window seat, aisle seat, overhead bin.
During the flight, fasten your seatbelt, turbulence, lavatory.
After landing, disembark, immigration, passport control, visa.
At baggage claim, carousel, lost luggage.
At customs, declare, nothing to declare.
And finally, after the airport, taxi rank, airport shuttle, currency exchange.
Wow, that's such a complete journey from start to finish.
It really is. And now our listeners have all the words they need for a real trip.
This feels like such a valuable, practical episode.
I agree completely. Now let's move to something fun. A few questions to help our listeners think and practice speaking.
Okay, now it's your turn, dear listener.
Yes, let's ask some questions. Try answering them out loud using the new words we learned today.
Question 1. Do you prefer a window seat, an aisle seat, or a middle seat? Why?
Try answering with a full sentence, like, I prefer a window seat because...
Question 2. Have you ever experienced a delayed or canceled flight? What happened?
Practice describing it using our new vocabulary.
Question 3. What is your favorite airport you visited or want to visit?
Maybe describe why, using simple, clear sentences.
Question 4. What do you usually pack in your carry-on bag?
Try listing a few items using the vocabulary we practiced.
Question 5. Have you ever felt nervous going through security or immigration? How did you feel?
Understanding this feeling is completely normal for many travelers.
Question 6. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go and why?
A fun question to imagine your next adventure.
These questions really help turn new vocabulary into real, natural speaking practice.
Exactly. Practicing out loud is how vocabulary really becomes part of your English.
Practicing out loud makes vocabulary truly yours. Let's repeat that.
Practicing out loud makes vocabulary truly yours.
Now, before we finish, let's bring together the most important phrases from today one more time.
Great idea. Let's go slowly through our most useful travel phrases.
Number 1, could I have some water, please?
Could I have some water, please?
Number 2, excuse me, where is the lavatory?
Excuse me, where is the lavatory?
Number 3, what is the purpose of your visit?
What is the purpose of your visit?
Number 4, I'm here for tourism.
I'm here for tourism.
Number 5, excuse me, my bag hasn't arrived.
Excuse me, my bag hasn't arrived.
Number 6, do you have anything to declare?
Do you have anything to declare?
Number 7, could you help me find another flight?
Could you help me find another flight?
Number 8, where can I find a taxi?
Where can I find a taxi?
Number 9, excuse me, where is the nearest ATM?
Excuse me, where is the nearest ATM?
Number 10, traveling with the right words feels less scary.
Traveling with the right words feels less scary.
Wonderful. Now you have 10 essential travel phrases and a huge amount of airport vocabulary ready for your next trip.
Real English for real travel situations. This is exactly what our channel is all about.
I love that. Such a practical, useful episode today.
Emma, before we close, I have an idea. What if we told one complete short story using almost all the vocabulary from today?
Oh, I love this idea. A fun way to review everything in one smooth story.
Perfect. Let's do it together.
Okay, imagine this. Sarah booked a round-trip ticket to Rome. She packed her suitcase carefully and also prepared a small carry-on bag.
At the airport, she went straight to the check-in counter, showed her passport, and received her boarding pass. She checked her big suitcase at baggage drop.
Then she walked to the security checkpoint. She placed her laptop and her small liquids bag separately on the conveyor belt and walked calmly through the metal detector.
In the departure area, she checked the departure board and saw her gate number, gate B12. She had a little time, so she got a coffee and waited comfortably.
When boarding started, she joined her boarding group, walked through the jet bridge and found her seat, a lovely window seat near the front.
A flight attendant helped her place her carry-on in the overhead bin and later asked if she wanted something to drink.
During the flight, there was a little turbulence, but Sarah stayed calm because she understood exactly what was happening.
When the plane landed, the pilot welcomed everyone and reminded passengers to remain seated until the seatbelt sign turned off.
Sarah disembarked and walked toward immigration. The officer asked about the purpose of her visit, and she answered clearly, I'm here for tourism for 1 week.
After immigration, she went to baggage claim, found her carousel number, and thankfully, her suitcase arrived safely.
At customs, she had nothing special to declare, so she walked confidently through the nothing to declare path.
Finally, she stepped outside the airport, found the taxi rank, and headed to her hotel, ready to enjoy her trip.
What a perfect, smooth journey, using so many of today's words, all in one simple story.
Exactly. This shows how all these small pieces of vocabulary connect together into one real travel experience.
I love how this story ties everything together so naturally.
It really does.
And now our listeners have not just individual words, but a real feeling for how they all fit together in order.
This is such a wonderful way to end our vocabulary journey today.
So Harry, out of everything we learned today, what's one phrase you think is the most useful?
Good question. I think, could you help me? Because it works in so many different situations.
That's such a great choice. So flexible and useful.
What about you, Emma?
For me, I think I'm here for tourism because it's such a common, important phrase right at immigration.
Great choice too. Both very practical phrases for real travelers.
Tell us in the comments, what is one airport word or phrase you didn't know before today?
We really want to know. Write it below.
Maybe layover, maybe carousel, maybe nothing to declare.
Whatever it is, we're happy you learned something new with us today.
Thank you so much for listening today and for practicing your English with us.
See you very soon with another interesting topic.
One conversation at a time, one trip, one word, one step at a time. Your English will grow naturally.
See you in our next real conversation. And happy travels.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.